Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today you join me on a weekend and I'm down on Southbourne beach. Today, as you can see, I'm joined with Mac again because I really, after Chesil, we needed to get you a bigger fish to me. So we come down to Southbourne because it's a little bit forgiving because Mac's casting is getting a lot better, but on Southbourne a lot of the fish are 30 to 40 yards out and we can get Mac into that now. We fish in the Henglesbury head end because where I was going to fish, obviously, it's quite a nice day and the beaches are absolutely rammed. So we come up to this end to get away from all the holiday makers. There's packed Mac in it. When we first got here, we wandered down to see what the beach was like. We'd done a bit of LRFing round the groin and we caught some shanies and you caught a bass, didn't you? And some shanies. So that was quite good. And then we went back and we got the kit. And we're on Southbourne now. We're going to stay here till about probably 1 o'clock and see if we can get Mac some sole, maybe a ray and odds and sods, but we're mainly going to be targeting this evening ray and sole. And as normal, I'll take you through all the rigs and everything which I'm going to be using for that, and I'll take you through the bait selection. I've got quite a selection of bait, and hopefully we can get you into hopefully a sole or maybe a ray in the gutter and all that. The conditions are quite good. We have got in the beach buddy now, and that's why I'm not standing out there. We have got a bit of a breeze going from right to left down the beach, but that's given to drop off later. All the beach goers are going now pretty much, Mark, and
Yeah, dying.
We've got a few people in the dunes behind us having a wine party, which is quite good. But what I'll do is, as normal, if I can get out there I will, but if I'll try and turn my back to the wind to show you what rods and reels I'm using, and then as normal we'll jump in the beach buddy, have a look what rigs I'm going to be using this evening for sole and ray on Southbourne, and I'll cross fingers then we can get into some fish for you and get Mac into a fish in it. Yeah, with Chesil and that was good. We enjoyed that, didn't you? Preston and that and Chesil.
Start with the wind, but
yeah, the wind was a bit cheeky, but as you've seen in our video, you know, target achieved, and we had some bream in the wind, and then we were back and we slept on the beach, which was brilliant. So what I'll do next is now I'll quickly run you through the rods and reels I'm using. Later than that then I'll show you baiting up, what bait I've got, what rigs I'm going to use, and I'll try and do that now before I lose the light, and then after that in darkness then we'll see if we can get into some ray, some sole and whatever else. So we'll scratch around, but that's our main target this evening. Right, the rods and reels I got for this evening is I got my both Nagas. I left the black out in the ounce because I had a little bit of damage when I was fishing Chesil. My rod stands did get blown over and I got a little crack in one of the eyes, so I've got both my favourite rods and Nagas. They're coupled up with the Daiwa Millionaires. I got the black one on one and blue on the other. They got 15-pound blaze, 80-pound Xenon tapered shock leader because I'm going to be fishing at distance. I have got an egg beater rod which I got in the bag, so later on I might pack one of these away and get it on. Mac's got exactly the same. He's got his Vaselli, which he from the fishing club, and he's got a Tronics Pro egg beater rod, and that's just got 20-pound braid, and then he's got a 60-pound tapered shock leader, and that's just to help him casting and that, which is coming on well. So that's what I'm going to be using now. As you can see, we're losing the light. There is a little bit of a chop to the water, but it's nice. Probably scratch around for the first hour. Hopefully you can get a place. I got place rigs on at the moment, and they are working their stuff out there. One of them's got a pop-up, which I'll show you. And then once dark comes in, we'll swap into, one will be a place sole rig, and the other one then I'll be fishing for a ray. But that's it. Mac's got a 2 up 1 down with pop-ups on there, and he's just fishing in the gutter to see what he can scratch out there. But what I'll do is now I'll jump in the beach buddy, we'll do a bit of baiting up and rig selection, and then hopefully we can get into a fish for you. But the rigs I got out in the water, as you know, I always start off with is my up and over pulley rig. I got them out in a place fashion with placer on the bottom and a little pop up on the top, and it's just I one get out there quickly and it's just working so nice with the rolling lead. So my next rig, which I'm going to try out now, you see me using it down on Chesil, it's a 2 up 1 down clip down. 2 foot snuds, and I got a little pop up there as you can see, and on the pop up I got a really thin sliver. It's got a bit of sand in it now of mackerel belly. There's no meat in it, it's just a thin slither. On the next hook coming down then I got a pop up. It's got a bit of sand in it now, and I've just got squid guts, because I find sometimes that can winkle out a better fish for you, a flat fish or a turbot, and that comes down as I got it. That's on a moving lead, and I got the showcast bomb lead in 5 ounces, and then a 4 foot snud, and then I've got a sand eel with a bit of moon glow, and that's going to be my next one out there. I'm going to leave these have another soak now for 5 minutes, and then this one will be going out there. And like I spoke about, once I lose the light, I'll take you through my place rigs. There's a few more anglers turned up now, which is nice to see. They're getting ready. We're just coming up to high water now, and then we're going to fish the ebb down to low water, and then I like to fish just after low water for the ray here, and hopefully we can get into some for you. But that's my next rig going out, and then once I'm going to bait up for the ray, I'll take you through that rig then, which I'm going to be trying for that, and then I'll take you through my distance sole rig, and then I'm going to take you through the rig which Mac is going to be fishing in the gutter for them, and hopefully Mac can get into a nice sole this evening.
Fingers crossed, mate. Huh?
Fingers crossed, innit? Fingers crossed. But we got into some on Preston Beach to me.
Yeah.
I do like the sole, and you can get some big ones on Southbourne Beach on occasions, but most of them, you know, 25-30 centimetres, but you can get a big lumper on you. But that's my next rig going out now. Mac's rod's been out for about 15 minutes, so we just bait that up and try it, and then mine will go, because I was helping Mac bait up, mine were out a little bit later, so I'll leave those have a little bit of a longer soak. But yeah, that's it now, and I'll get back to you if you have any fish or when I'm going to bait up my ray rigs. Yeah, I brought you back now. This is my second cast out, which I put right to the side, and it was drifting through lovely, and we're just starting to lose the light now, and then it stopped, or a lovely pull down, sprung back, and it's gone slack again now. So hopefully we're into our first fish, but it was definitely a lovely pull down, and it bounced back slack. I wound up the slack, I put it back in the stand, and then it pulled down again, it went slack. Trying to turn my back, the wind is still quite strong at the moment. But to our right, there's quite a few people turned up now fishing. All the way down to the right, it's quite full, so that's good to see. Yeah, we're just starting to lose the light now, witching hour. It's a lovely time to fish. I'm hoping this is our first fish, but it was definitely a fish on there. We have to walk down to the water's edge now, but this was out to some distance. Yeah, the fish on here. Oh, well, I was hoping it was going to be a flat fish, but no, a little school bass. But that's not bad, second cast. Yeah, I thought it might have been a flat fish because I was out some distance, but yeah, I'll get this little fella back. Hopefully we can get some bigger ones. Very lightly coloured that is as well. On the 1 up 1 down rig. Bit of ragworm tip with a bit of squid, hopefully for the flat fish, but Yeah, not a bad start, second cast. But I get this little fella back now, and hopefully before we lose the light I can get into a flatfish for you. I'll take a bit of time out now to run you through my distance boom rig clip down. I can't go in the beach buddy at the moment because the flies are absolutely ridiculous here. So I'm going to stand up and show you. As you can see, you know, when I showed you on my previous videos, I quite like using booms, especially on Southbourne, close in. But when I want to go to distance, as you can see here, if you're casting that, it'll be all over the shop and you lose quite a bit, considerable amount of distance. But this is a clip down boom rig. I think you get it from Breakaway. As you can see, I've just got Showcast hybrid lead there, and then the booms are coming off like so. When you're doing the booms, like I spoke about, never have the snuds longer than the booms because they will tangle. And then I've got an imp at the bottom. Let me turn it upside down. That goes under the imp like so. I have got moon glow on it because I do quite like moon glow for my sole. I'll bait this up in a minute if I can get in there without being 200 flies all over my face, and especially with the head torch on. They murder Mac, and they're just climbing all over us. If you can see it there, it's got little grooves to go under. Yeah, it's murdering it. Mac's leaving the tent now as well. And as you can see, that is really aerodynamic. And then obviously once that hits the water, it unclips. And then your fishing booms then you are out in the water. And that's all it is then. The booms get trapped in between my little aero beads. I got a spring and a crimp and so forth down. Brilliant distance rig. I do like booms for sole, obviously because they pick up on the metal work they do. And that's it. What I'll do is now I'll try and bait it up for you in there, but I'm just going to bait it up with ragworm, tipped a little bit of squid, and I got black leg in there. But at the moment you just can't go anywhere near the beach buddy. At least I'm standing out here now and it's like that breeze is blowing them off us. Yeah, but that's one of my go-to rigs for if I want to go to extreme distance for the sole, is the clip down boom rig. You see me using other rigs as well with short snuds. But yeah, fantastic rig this is. Always worth having in your armour if you're going fishing for sole and you want to go extreme range. Really, really good. I'll try and bait it up for you now, but obviously I can't get in the beach buddy. As soon as you sit down in the box, the flies are all over you. Yeah, but that's a fantastic rig, and give it a try. Yeah, you see me talking to him about the distance boom rig. I just put it out, and the second fish now, because on it a little school bass. He's taking the top boom, but it's absolutely ridiculous with flies. Danny's just turned up, Hunter. He's just behind the camera, and the fly, I had to put my beach buddy down. The flies are just absolutely ridiculous. They're all over your face and everything, so we're going to give it half hour. But I put the beach buddy down now, and the breeze, once the breeze stops, they're just all over you. But that's the second fish now, another little school bass. Fishing's quite slow. We're just starting to flood now, that's why Danny's come down. And hopefully the fishing picks up and these flies die off, because they're absolutely ridiculous. Put your head torch on and they're all over your face and everything. But I'm going to get this little fella back now. We're going to give it half hour to see if we can pick any other fish up. But if these flies carry on, I guess I can see it being a short session, because it's just uncomfortable. They're in your face, you're swallowing them. As soon as you put your head torch on, they're all over my floodlights now. They are. As you can see, I've had to move the beach buddy over there because they're just swarming in there. But I'll get this little fella back now. Hard work at the moment. Hopefully when that tide starts flooding, we can get something bigger for you. But yeah, at least it's a fish, but it's not what we're after. Right, that's me and Mac. The beach buddy's away, most of the stuff's away. That is absolutely broken, isn't it? I know Danny's up there. He said he's going to man it out for a bit longer because he came after us. But it's just ridiculous. I've never experienced anything like this. You put your head torch on, the floodlights now are just covered in flies and they're taking them away from us. But you put your head torch on, they're in your eyes, they're in your mouth, it's horrendous. I'm a little bit gutted So the tide is starting to flood. You know, I've had 2 bass, but it's that Danny's had a strap conger up there. You just rigged him back in all strapped up, but it's just not pleasant at all. It's in your face, it's in your eyes, and you're trying to bait up, and it's even worse when you're baiting up. So we're going to pack away now. We're going to try a different location and see if we can get out of it, because otherwise it's going to be a really short video, and I hate doing that. So we're going to pack up now, jump in my car, we're going to drive to a different location to see if we can get some fish on camera with you, but at the moment Southbourne is just unfishable.
Right off, right?
Yeah. I normally man a lot of stuff out, but it's just horrible. I've never seen so many flies. Once the breeze is here, they go for a bit. As soon as that breeze stops, they're all over your face, your hands. Yeah, it's honking it, isn't it? We're broken men, we are. So I'm going to quickly pack everything away now, jump back in the car, and then when you see us next, we'll be on a different location. Oh, welcome back. Me and Mac now, we tried to fish Southbourne, but those flies were just absolutely ridiculous. I've never experienced that. Danny's still down there, but me and Mac have dropped back to the military port. Believe it or not, when I was getting the cameras out and everything, Mac had cast out and he already had a sole, first sole.
That's it.
Wasn't a big one, it was about that big, so hopefully we can get into some more this evening. I did stop back at my house and I've got my bass gear for live baiting, which I will talk you through in a bit. But if we catch a pouting, obviously I can hook him down and get him underneath the jetty, and I'll show you the setup for that and see if I can get a big bass doing that. And we've got the drop net. But we've come down here, it's like a different world, isn't it?
Yeah.
I've never experienced that in Southbourne before. I don't know if they were sand flies, but they were just like all over your face, wasn't it? It was just unfishable.
Your head torch on.
Yeah, head torch was like a magnet to it. But we have come down to the military port. One of my subscribers did ask me as well to explain. Obviously, I'm quite blessed, obviously, being in the military, and Mac is in the military, and we have access to the military port. The hints and tips I show you how to fish in here is not because you can come in here, because you can't. You're not allowed within 200 metres of the water. But what I do try and show you is fishing off a jetty. Because there are loads of jetties in Southampton, Hampshire and all over the UK, and the styles of fishing I use in here you can take away from that. But one of my subscribers said you should say that you can't get access to this. I think that's the issue we get as YouTubers. Like, I go to a mark and fish it, and people are saying, oh, can we fish it? How do we get there? Can you pin drop the location? And it does get quite awkward, because I go to marks and fish them, but I'm trying to educate you how to fish different marks. You know, don't go flocking to the, which a lot of people do. You know, like I fished in Wales, and then, you know, and people, you know, it's a big, vast river, and then people, you know, oh, pin drop it to me. You know, that's not really what I'm trying to show. I'm just trying to show you how I fish certain areas, because estuaries are all over the UK again. And, you know, like when you're going to target bass in the estuary, look for the areas which I look for, and that's what I found. I just happened to fish the estuary, which is near my mum's. But that's the takeaway from it. But yeah, unfortunately, you can't fish the military port, but me and Mac can, because we're military, and, well, I'm going to be ex-military in a month. But then hopefully I can still come back in it as a veteran, a member of the 17 Port Maritime Fishing Club, because we've got a really good club here, and it brings the youngsters through fishing. But we're down here now, no flies. We're going to try and target sole. We're hopefully going to catch a pouting, yeah. And then we're going to live bait that, and then I can show you the rods and the equipment I use for that. But Mac's already had a bass. But this is a world apart, and it's lovely.
That's it, mate.
Yeah. We got egg beater rods, the same rods which we were using down in Southbourne, so I won't run you through that. But what I'll do is then I'll just take you through us fishing. I'm using Earth rig, because I like using that when I'm fishing at height, because it keeps all, like you've seen in one of my previous videos, it keeps all the baits in the bottom. And Mac's got a 2 up, 1 down, 3 foot snuds, but he's giving that quite a cast. Out onto the mud bank, so they all are at the bottom, and he did catch a sole.
That's it, buzzing, mate, aye.
Buzzing now, innit? What have you had all together now? We've had a sole, smooth hound, whiting, shanny, yeah. When we were LRFing.
And a bass, aye.
And a bass. So hopefully we can get into some more species tonight, and hopefully we can catch a pouting, and then I can show you how I hook that up to try and catch one of the big bass in here. But that's us now. We're off Southbourne, no flies. It's a little bit windy down here because we're in the boot of the car, but World apart, innit?
Level
Yeah, I
one,
couldn't have stuck that. I just messaged Danny now and he said he's packing up. He's had a soul, he said, though, but the flies have got the better of him. I don't know what I was down in Southbourne. It was horrific, wasn't it? Absolutely horrific. But that's us now, and what I'll do is I'll keep you up to date as and when we have fish. It looks like Mac's into another fish here. His second cast, like we spoke about his first cast, he had a sole. It looks like he's got another fish. Be careful of the stanchion, like Mac. You got him? Well done, Mac.
I think it's a little bass, I think. Yeah, it's a bass.
Is it?
Yeah.
Keep winding. And a pout in. Hey, we've got our live bait.
There we go, bud.
Brilliant, so I'll show you how to do that. Bring it down here, Mac. Oh, we've just seen that then. Well done, Mac. Lovely little bass. And he also caught a whiting, which I've just put that, on now, the float, and I just dropped it down, but I'll show you that later. But a lovely little school bass.
Yeah, buzzing.
2 casts now, 3 fish.
On fire, mate.
On fire.
Much
But I
better
leave
than
Mac get that back now, but brilliant. World apart, and that's what it's all about. Getting Mac into fishing, get him to catch fish. I know they're not massive, but he might have a massive one here tonight. But we've got a live bait, and he's over the side on a float, which I'll talk you through in a minute, the techniques for that, and hopefully we can get into a monster bass for you. We're made up now. 2 casts, 3 fish, you know, and that's what it's all about. It's a world apart from Southbourne. But I'm going to help Mac now, bait up the rig, get it back in, and hopefully we can get a bigger fish on camera for you. Oh, what I'll do is now I'll take a little bit of time out to show you my setup for large bass fishing in here. Obviously I've got the bait underneath there now, so I can't show you there, but I got one made up. But the rods I use a 20 to 30 class boat rod, a boat reel, and I got 50-pound braid on it, because you just got to hit and hold to stop the bass going round all the stanchions, and I find that works better. Just put it on the clicker and then wheel it. But on the business end, I've got a Tronics Pro 80-gram float. I find these really good with the circle hook because of the weight in them. When the bass takes the bait, it pulls that down. It takes a lot to pull it down, so that sets a circle hook. Coming off there then, I've got 50-pound fluorocarbon. You don't have to have fluorocarbon because most of the time you're fishing in darkness, but I like to use it anyway. Comes down, I got my perfection loop. And then I've got a 3-yaw circle hook. I don't use a too big circle hook, because if you're hooking it through the pouting, a big hook can kill it, and you don't want that to happen. You want the desired effect of him swimming around in trouble. So that's what I use, a 3-yaw circle hook, and that's roughly, I'd say 4 foot, 4.5 foot, and that's what I use. But these floats are amazing. I use a heavy gear because when you're fishing off pier for big bass, you just need to hook them, otherwise they will swim around the stanchion. Very good tip, if you're fishing over in West Quay, or you're fishing off any pier structure and you're going to go for the big bass, because it does sort out the big bass. Sometimes they're there and you have to wait for hours, but what it does is just stops the littler bass taking your bait, like Mac's having now. He's thoroughly enjoying himself over there now. It's a different world to Southbourne, and the good thing is he can come in here now, he practices casting, he's baiting up, and he's catching fish, and that's what it's all about. Because Mac's got his first match next week. He's going to be fishing for the Armed Forces Veterans Club, which is really good, because as you know, I'll be coming out to the military, and Mac then will be our focal point of contact in 17, because we have accommodation here. We use the warrant officer's mess for food, and then for our presentation, so Mac will be taking over that side of it, and it's good he's getting into fishing now. His baiting's coming up great, his casting is, and then he's enjoying it. That's the main thing. He's had a few fish. Oh, sorry, I could hear something jumping in, but he's enjoying. We're going to give it another hour or 2 here. Hopefully we can get into a nice sole, or hopefully a nice big bass on camera for you. But all the traps are set now. You know how I'm doing it, and cross fingers we can get into a big bass or a big sole for you. Yeah, me and Mac now have had 4 casts now. Mac's had how many fish now? 3 fish. He keeps on rubbing it in now, but I had indication on this one. The big rod which we got with the pout on hasn't gone yet. I'm hoping I've got a fish on here now. I'm hoping it's a sole. Tell you what I'm not hoping it is, a green eel, because they can be right nuisances in here, especially when you're fishing an earth rig. They just mash it up. So hopefully I've got a sole. There's a bit of weight to it, Mark. Oh, come on, be a sole. That's not a bad size one. Oh. Oh. Yeah, unfortunately, it's not a sole we were hoping for, but it's a little checker school bass. Oh. Yeah, a little school bass, and you can see on the earth rig. What I've done is I shortened that earth rig down a bit. Yeah, but that's my first fish actually, Mark. But Mark's buzzing behind there. But I get this little fella back now, and hopefully they get bigger and the big rod goes, or we get a nice sole. But yeah, that's not bad, is it? We've been here about 40 minutes now and the fish are coming in steady, but we knew that. But it's worlds apart from Southbourne. So I get this little fella back now, get those baited up, and hopefully we can get into a sole, or the big grog goes and get a big bass.
Yeah.
I think Mark's into another fish. He's on fire here. He's putting me to shame, Mark.
Oh.
You got him?
Yes.
Oh, bass.
Ah.
Never mind. Another one?
Another one.
Yeah.
Oh. There we go.
Get him?
Not the white one we were looking for, but
Yeah, Mark, show him up to camera.
sorted.
There's Mark with another little bass.
There we go.
You're doing well now.
That's it. That's number 4 for the night.
Yeah, well done, Mark.
Happily.
I'll leave Mark get him sorted now and get him back in. Yeah, I'll shine the head torch and hopefully you can see it. We just put Mark's bass back. And there's a fish on mine. Looks very bassy. I'll have a look now. Believe it or not, something robbed up out in.
Windy, man.
Yeah, there's a fish on here. That's the really good thing about the port is there's always fish in here, like we've seen on my other videos I've done in here. The issue you have is it's just full of bass. That's why you have to use a bigger bait for the bigger bass. Any ragworm or small baits, the school bass just hoover it up. But Mark is oh no, my nemesis. Well, we just spoke about that, we did. That is not what you want to see on an earth rig. Oh no. Definitely not what you want to see on an earth rig. I was hoping it was going to be a sole, but that is not what you want to see on an earth rig. That sums it up. The old dreaded green eel, you get loads of them in here, but as you can see, that rig is at it. I'll get him sorted now and get him back in, and definitely need to change my earth rig. Honking slimy thing. But good to see, as you know, these are getting really scarce now, but I won't keep him out now. I'll get him unhooked. He's already lightly hooked as well, but as you can see, that rig is proper slimed up. The old dreaded silver eel or green eel. But I'll get him back in now and let him go up the river to do his business. Yeah. Another species, oh Mark?
It is, mate.
Brilliant, man. I'll get him back now. Well, that's me and Mac done now. We had a thoroughly enjoyable.
No, much better.
Well, he's had an enjoyable evening because he's hammered me. But we've had a few species. We had eel, bass, sole, pouting. No big ones. I did try for a squid as well, an early squid. But the water's a bit cloudy for that, isn't it? But yeah, it's just nice to finish the video off now with some fish because Southbourne was horrendous. A little bit gutted. Ooh, hang on. My light's gone off on my GoPro. There we are. A little bit gutted with Southbourne, but we've come back here, we caught fish. Max had a few different species,
Happy with it.
but we'll definitely be out again. But as always, Mac, thank you for coming out again.
Enjoy it as always, mate.
Yeah, but always, hey, thank you very much everyone for watching. If I don't see you on the beach, I'll see you on the channel. Enjoy your fishing, everyone.